welcome to the video. I wanted to take you with me today. I am going to be doing the brakes on this Nissan 350Z. This is a 2008 model. It just has the factory brakes, doesn't have the Brembos. So I got started on it already. Basically what I've done is I've pulled the calipers and all the way off, and the bracket and the rotor. So what I'm going to be doing is painting the calipers. I've got new rotors, new pads. I'll show you what those are, the brands and stuff like that. I think I'm going to clean up this hub here and maybe give it a little bit of paint. That way it doesn't look so bad. I already went ahead and swapped out my lines from the factory rubber to stainless steel. So here's the new line here. This is stainless steel, so hopefully that should give a better pedal feel. So basically all I had to do was unscrew the old brake line from the hard line here, swap them out. You have to pull off this little clip here in order to get the bottom brake line out. Basically, all you have here is the parking brake assembly. I'm probably going to clean this up, give it a little bit of paint if possible. Parking brake looks good, so I'm not going to do anything but hose that down. Back here, I've taken off the caliper entirely, and basically I think what I'm going to do for this shield is I'm probably going to cut the shield and then kind of trim it up. Eventually I'm going to have to cut it anyways because I've got a hydraulic handbrake setup that I'm going to be putting on here. So I've got the bracket as well as the extra caliper, and so even the extra calipers are going to get painted also. So when you see me painting the calipers, you'll see 4 rear calipers. But again, same setup as the front on as far as the clip. You just take the clip off, unscrew the line, and so this is the new stainless steel line, and that's just going to go right over to the caliper. Okay, so here we have the old rotors, fronts, rears, and you know, they are what they are. I'm not going to be reusing those. I have new ones, and here are the calipers. So basically I just took them apart. I still have to clean all the hardware, and I've got to do a little bit more cleaning on each of the calipers, but you know, it's just one of those things where they're all a little bit different. The coating on these was quite a bit tougher than the coating on my truck brakes that I just recently did. This one had been replaced before by the previous owner, and so even I took a wire wheel to this and it brushed up the dirt that was on here, brushed it off, but if this is powder coated or something like that, it's pretty tough. So you know, I'm going to give it a light sand, just like everything else. I'm going to give it a light sand. Alright, so here are the calipers. I have them all prepped up for the most part. Basically all I'm going to do after this is wipe them down with some rubbing alcohol to just get off as much dirt and debris as I can. And then I have to tape up a couple of the spots on here. But we have those. Then we got the little ones for the rear. And then these two here, this one and this one, are going to be for the hydraulic handbrake setup. So I test painted this one a couple weeks ago, so it came out pretty good, but I'm just going to touch it up a little bit more and then throw on some clear, because there's no clear on that. So that is pretty much where we're at. Okay, so first coat of primer down, just on the top side. So, well, actually I put 2 coats on the top side. It's been drying for about an hour. I'm going to flip it over, keep moving. We're going to primer on the bottom and then move on to our color. Alright, so I finished up all of the final coats of paint on the calipers. last night. They have been drying overnight. So all of them are looking pretty good. Alright, so for the pads, I am doing Hawk HPS's. So this is their high performance street pad. Pretty popular with a lot of people that modify, upgrade their brake system. So this one here on the right is the front. So it's HB387 F.547. And then this one here on the left is the rear, HB370 F.559. So rears, fronts. Alright, so for the rotors, we're going to do EBC brake rotors, and this is their USR series. This one here is the rears. The number is USR 7351, and let's see if we can open it up. So basically they are black coated and slotted. So we have this set for the rears here, and then the fronts are right here. I don't think there's a part number on this box. It looks like there's something here. So USR 7218 for the front, and it says Infinity, but these should be the right ones for the front. They look identical to the factory rotors for the most part, but yeah, much bigger and again slotted. Okay, so for the calipers, what I did was over the last couple of months I had to replace one of the rear calipers. So that one's only a few months old, and then I went ahead and bought another one. So I'm going to use the two brand new ones for the main braking system, and then I'm going to use the two old ones for the hydraulic handbrake. So I have a rebuild kit for the front. So this is the rebuild kit for the front, and I have one for the rear, and then I have some bleeder caps and some bleeder screws in case I need them. But basically all I have to do is I took the pistons out of the front calipers, since they're the original ones. I'm going to rebuild those, and then I'm going to rebuild the two older rear calipers, and the two new rear calipers are still in good shape. One of them's brand new, never been used, and one of them's only been used for a few months, so we should be good to go on those. But basically I'm going to clean up the pistons for the old calipers and get those prepped, cleaned, and then we're going to go through the process of putting it back together. Alright, so here's a look at the final product. Got black calipers, black rotors, and our stainless steel lines. So the lines run to the factory hooks. Have our rotors, calipers, Hawk brake pads, and then the stainless steel lines hook up back here. And we have the rear back here. So black calipers, Hawk brake pads, and the stainless steel lines here. And again, that just hooks on right there. So all I have to do now is bleed the brakes and then test it, make sure I don't have any leaks anywhere, and then I can put the wheels back on and take it for a drive. Alright, so I wanted to kind of give a final update. I will put some before and after pictures in here to show you kind of with the stock wheels as well as the stock brakes or just original brakes, and then compare it to the new setup with the new wheels, the painted calipers, and the new rotors. It's a little windy, so hopefully the wind noise is not too bad, but I have these Cosmos XT006R wheels. They're on Achilles tires. I think they're the ATR Sport 2s. Nothing fancy, but they're black with, you know, the black caliper, and you know, the rotor where the pad doesn't touch is black. So looks very clean, especially from a distance. And that's kind of why earlier in the video I was saying that I didn't want the EBC pads, because if you look at it now, there would just be a bright yellow or blue or orange pad inside of the caliper, and just it didn't really suit my style. The wheels are a 18 by 9.5 plus 10 offset, and the tires are a 235/40 18. Probably could have gone with a 245, which is probably what I'll upgrade to, at least in the rear. I'm okay with the 235s in the front for now, but in the rear I'd definitely like to have a little more meat. But here's the rear. So again, all black, looks pretty clean. Needs to be lowered a little bit, and then it would look even better. Guess I should mention I did end up cutting the dust shield, so came out pretty good. But back to the point, drivability, the brakes definitely feel good, have a nice bite to them, nice initial bite, and then, you know, slowing down from speeds, high speeds, seems to be pretty good. I will say I do sort of notice a difference between the rubber lines versus the stainless steel lines. So the stainless steel just feels like once you get the pedal pressed down, you know, you're still going to have that vacuum feeling since it's vacuum boosted, but once you get to the point of where the brakes are starting to pinch, it just, you know, it feels like a brick wall. If you have any more questions, something I didn't mention, just leave me a comment. But other than that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.